Assalamu alaikum. Hi everyone. Here our discussion with ChatGPT on the topic how to develop a reading habit and expand our mind. So let's start. Hi ChatGPT, how are you?
Hope everything's going well on your end.
I'm fine. Thank you. ChatGPT, I have the topic how to develop a reading habit and expand our mind. So I have some question on the topic. My first question is why is developing a reading habit important for personal growth?
That's a fantastic topic. Developing a reading habit is really important for personal growth because it broadens your knowledge, enhances your empathy by letting you see different perspectives, and stimulates your mind, boosting creativity and critical thinking. It also helps with focus and concentration, and ultimately, it enriches your life in countless ways.
Okay. My next question, how does reading regularly expand our perspective and creativity?
Absolutely. Regular reading exposes us to diverse ideas, cultures, and experiences, which helps broaden our perspective and deepen our understanding of the world. It also stimulates our imagination, inspiring new ideas and creative thinking. Plus, the more we read, the more we develop our critical thinking skills, helping us see connections and patterns that we might not have noticed before.
Okay, my next question, what are some effective ways to build a daily reading routine?
Great question. One effective way is to start small, like setting aside just 10 or 15 minutes a day. You can also pick a specific time, like right before bed or during your commute. Making reading accessible by keeping a book or an e-reader handy can help. And also choosing books that genuinely interest you makes it more enjoyable. Lastly, setting goals like reading a certain number of pages or chapters each day can keep you motivated and consistent.
Okay, how can technology both help and hinder reading habits?
Yeah, absolutely. On the positive side, technology can help by providing access to ebooks, audiobooks, and reading apps that make it easy to read anywhere and anytime. It can also help with features like adjustable fonts and built in dictionaries. On the other hand, it can hinder reading habits by causing distractions like notifications or the temptation to multitask. So it really comes down to using technology mindfully to support your reading goals.
Okay. What types of books are most helpful for broad,
That's a great
broadening our minds?
Absolutely. Books that are really helpful for broadening our minds tend to be those that explore diverse perspectives, such as literature from different cultures, nonfiction on history or science, and even philosophical or autobiographical works. Also, books that challenge your thinking, like those on or even philosophy and world affairs, can really help expand your horizons. Ultimately, any book that pushes you out of your comfort zone and encourages critical thinking will contribute to personal growth and broaden your mind.
Okay. How can someone stay consistent with reading despite a busy schedule?
That's definitely a common challenge. One way is to carve out small, consistent reading pockets, like a few minutes during your commute or right before bed. Another tip is to keep your reading material handy, like having a book or an e reader with you. Also, setting realistic goals like reading a chapter a day can help. And even audiobooks can be a great way to sneak in reading while multitasking. Consistency is key, and small steps really add up over time.
Okay. What role does curiosity play in developing a love for reading?
Curiosity is absolutely central. When you're naturally curious, you're more inclined to explore new topics, genres, and ideas, which keeps reading exciting and engaging. Curiosity drives you to dig deeper, ask questions, and seek out knowledge, making the reading experience more meaningful and enjoyable. It kind of turns reading into a lifelong adventure.
Okay. How can reading fiction improve empathy and emotional intelligence?
Reading fiction is really powerful for that. It allows you to step into the shoes of different characters, experience their emotions, and understand their perspectives. This kind of immersion helps build empathy by making you more attuned to the feelings and experiences of others. Over time, it also enhances emotional intelligence by helping you recognize and understand complex emotions, both in yourself and in others.
Okay. What's the difference between reading for pleasure and reading for learning?
That's a great distinction. Reading for pleasure is all about enjoyment, relaxation, and immersion, where you get lost in stories, characters, and emotions. On the other hand, reading for learning is more focused and purposeful, aiming to gain knowledge, skills, or insights. While reading for pleasure often lets you explore freely, reading for learning might involve taking notes, analyzing, or reflecting more deeply. Of course, both types of reading are valuable and can complement each other beautifully.
Okay. How can book club or reading groups motivate consistent reading?
Absolutely. Book clubs and reading groups are fantastic for that because they create a sense of community and accountability. Knowing that you have regular meetings and discussions encourages you to keep up with the reading and stay consistent. Plus, discussing the book with others brings new insights, different perspectives, and makes the experience more enjoyable and engaging. It also helps turn reading into a social activity, which can definitely boost motivation.
Okay. In what ways does reading improve focus and concentration?
Reading really helps sharpen focus and concentration because it requires you to pay attention to details, follow a narrative, and engage your mind fully. Over time, this practice strengthens your ability to concentrate for longer periods, and it also helps reduce distractions since you're immersed in the book. Plus, the habit of regularly reading trains your brain to stay attentive and present, which definitely carries over into other areas of life as well.
How can parents or teachers encourage children to read more?
That's a wonderful question. Parents and teachers can encourage children to read by making reading fun and engaging. They can provide a variety of books that match the child's interests and reading level, create a cozy reading environment, and set aside regular reading time. Also, being a reading role model by sharing your own reading experiences can inspire kids. Encouraging discussions about books, visiting libraries or bookstores, and celebrating reading milestones can also help foster that love for reading.
Okay. Okay. How can setting reading goals enhance personal development?
Setting reading goals really helps by providing structure and motivation. When you have clear goals, it encourages consistency. And over time, that steady reading habit leads to greater knowledge, improved critical thinking, and even enhanced creativity. It also helps you track your progress, celebrate milestones, and stay motivated. Ultimately, these goals can lead to continuous personal growth and a deeper, more well rounded perspective.
Okay. My last question with you. How does reading diverse authors and genres help expand our worldwide?
Reading diverse authors really enriches our worldview by exposing us to a variety of cultures, perspectives, and experiences. It helps us understand different backgrounds and viewpoints, fostering empathy and open mindedness. It also challenges stereotypes and broadens our understanding of the world, making us more culturally aware and informed. Ultimately, this kind of reading cultivates a more inclusive and empathetic mindset, enriching our lives in countless ways.
Okay, okay. Thank you so much for the answers you give me. So my time is over. Allah Hafiz.
You're very welcome. It was my pleasure to chat with you. Take care and Allah Hafiz.